We, get the time going?
Well, it's kind of just until I get a text, so...
Okay, then we'll go in until... So this might be a 7-minute episode.
So you spoke with Detective Goodman about this 2 years ago.
Yes. That's what's so scary about this trial. And you told Detective Goodman about what you saw. Yes, but... At the time, it just wouldn't come out. That's why I drew a picture.
A picture? Yeah. I think she mentioned that before.
Well, Mr. Wright, have you heard enough?
This picture the witness drew, I believe it has a very important meaning.
But the list of evidence was given 2 years ago didn't contain a picture.
Witness, would you mind if we added this statement to your testimony?
Yes, Your Honor. I drew a picture of that scene once, but it seems to have been lost.
Hold it! You drew a picture of the scene you witnessed, right?
Yes, I wanted to do everything I could to help the investigation. I can still see it now. Whenever I close my eyes, it just seemed like nothing's changed at all. That's strange. I took over the case after Prosecutor Marshall died. Yet, I never received any picture. Perhaps the witness is mistaken? But I did draw it, I swear! I'm not just imagining it.
This picture that Emma drew, that reminds me. I guess I should check the evidence again.
Well, anyway, let's continue. I've seen that imprinted an image in your mind. Can you please describe it to us? The man. The man raised up his knife and stabbed Mr. Marshall in the chest.
That must have been a real shock.
Even now, when I close my eyes, I can still see it just as clearly. Tell us, what were you doing at that moment? I believe you testified that Joe Dark was holding you hostage. When lightning struck and lights went out, Mr. Marshall jumped on Dark. I was thrown aside and the two began wrestling each other. I'm pretty sure I was watching them.
Emma doesn't have any reason to lie, but Lana sure does. I need to get Emma to tell me as much about this as she can.
Alright, there's a new statement, but also Phoenix told you to look at the evidence. So you can look at the evidence. Actually, go to the new statement, just in case you accidentally present something. I drew a picture of that, yeah, that one.
That last one?
Yeah. I drew a picture of that scene once, but it seemed to have been lost. Like, check every single evidence. Like, even, like, press A to check.
This?
Yeah, all evidence. So press A right now, and you get a closer look at the stuff. So literally look at every single thing. Like, very thoroughly. If you don't see anything, then go to the next one.
Okay. I don't feel like I need to look at this, but alright. Oh! Shit, I guess I did need to
You
look at
did
that.
need to look at that. You can press A and
I
say something about
quite literally was just gonna skip it.
it.
A picture's drawn on the back of the evidence list in magic marker. I've got a very bad feeling about this.
So you gotta present that? Okay, then exit out first, and then you can present it.
I was straight gonna go, no fucking way, and
Nah.
just move on.
I had that sickening feeling that you were going to go back. I'm like,
You're
oh my
like,
god.
fuck.
10 minutes go by, and he's not gonna find it.
Mr. Edgeworth, this little girl put all her heart into drawing that picture. And yet you would insist on denying Damn you!
Hey, I'm not the bad guy! All I'm saying is that as the prosecutor for that case, I wasn't handed such a picture!
That may well be. But that doesn't mean it doesn't exist! Behold! The Underminer!
This is the evidence list for the SO9 incident.
Please turn it over, Your Honor.
Turn it over. Turn it. What's this?
Yes, what is that? Hey, that's it. That's the picture I drew.
And he, two men appear to be wrestling here.
What's the meaning of this? What are you doing with that list?
Me?
Only the prosecutor in charge should have the access to that list.
Huh? This list, they're different from each other.
What?
It would appear, Mr. Edgeworth, that the evidence list you were handed 2 years ago was incomplete. These two lists fit together to form one. You can see the marks here where they were torn apart from each other.
So you see, Mr. Edgeworth, it's quite obvious what happened. 2 years ago, only half of the evidence in that case ever reached you, bucko.
What? What?
Order! Order! But Miss Scott, why did you try and picture on the back of such an important list?
Because that's what Detective Goodman handed me in the questioning room, Your Honor.
Wait a minute. If this list was torn in half, then that means... Your Honor!
Are you alright, Mr. Wright? Your eyes are bulging from your head. Waka waka.
If the evidence list was torn in half, then there might be more of the drawing on the back of Mr. Edgeworth's list!
Oh,
Yes, that's quite conceivable, Mr. Edgeworth.
it's possible. Let's see.
Is something wrong?
Do you even have to ask?
Sorry, Your Honor. There was indeed something drawn on the back of my list. It's that thing!
Oh, fuck that.
That's that thing! That thing that was dancing in the evidence room!
Clearly, this act of vandalism is the work of a set of chief detectives.
I guess he was out of scrap paper.
Evidence list! List of the evidence of the SL9 incident. Half of this list was found in Gant's desk.
Very well, witness. Will you please testify about the dignity control 2 years ago?
Huh? Yes, sir, Your Honor.
What's wrong with Emma? She seemed to be thinking about something when she was looking at that picture.
This is the picture I drew 2 years ago. The flash of lightning was so bright, all I could see were shadows. After that, I must have fainted. This picture shows exactly what I saw in that instant.
To think a flash of lightning can burn such an image in your mind.
Thanks to that, though, she was able to show us exactly what she saw.
Well, I don't see any contradictions here. This clearly shows Joe talk about to murder prosecutor Neil Marshall. The defense may now begin its examination. Nope, I'm not ready for that again. I'm not.
Still yourself, Your Honor. You need to calm down.
I'm still sick. I'm on a Robitussin drip. Okay.
And I just got a text!
Which means?
This is the shortest episode ever!
Oh my god. What was I, like 10 minutes, 15 minutes?
I think it was about 12.
12. Thank you for joining the half-part episode.
That's right. Watch this one get 30K views.
Yeah, watch it. Actually, you know what? We're actually one episode ahead of schedule.
Okay.
So, we can, come back, 5 days from now when we record.
I like it.
And then we can continue the rest of the episode.
Let's do it. Make sure to subscribe, hit that bell, leave a hate comment, smash that dislike button.
But we're not doing an outro right now because it's just going to cut to us in 5 days.
Do it anyway. Think of it like an intermission.
Yeah, this is the intermission.
Get up, take a piss. Yep. So we don't even have to spray each other.
No, we don't. So today is a good day for us.
See you in a second.
Yep, we're back. In the future.
In the future.
Ugh. Ugh.
That was weird. Like time.
Oh yeah, it was just like instant.
Yeah, it was like.
Oh.
Like I feel like time passed, but it's like. Ugh.
Oh my god.
All right.
Anyway, the testimony. This is the picture I drew 2 years ago.
Did you draw this picture right after the incident?
I think I drew it 2 or 3 days later. At first, I was in such a state of shock that I couldn't do anything. During that time, the investigation team was reorganized. Detective Goodman was placed in charge, under the direction of Damon Gant and Line of Sky.
2 or 3 days later. The memory should still have been fresh in her mind.
Excuse me, witness.
I thought the judge would be better by this time.
But can you please tell us why this picture is painted all black?
The flash of lightning was so bright that all I could see was shadows.
So at the time, you didn't even know it was Mr. Marshall who had come to your rescue.
No, I couldn't see him clearly. The lightning was so bright, and I was knocked to the floor.
You were knocked to the floor.
Doug had a tight grip on me, but when Mr. Marshall jumped on him, I was knocked away. I turned around. That's when the lightning flashed.
Poor Emma. I'm just glad she wasn't hurt.
What happened after the lightning flashed? After that, I must have fainted.
You mean, you didn't see the actual murder take place?
No. I'm sorry. The flash of lightning only drove off the darkness for a split second. Not only that, but the trauma of the situation understandably caused the witness to faint. Do you really need to torture this girl any further?
What? Hey, I'm not the bad guy here.
Anyway, this picture shows exactly what I saw that instant.
Sorry for asking so many times, but are you sure you drew exactly what you saw?
Of course, this is the exact scene.
It wasn't influenced in any way from your talks with the detectives?
Are you insinuating we somehow manipulated her memory, Mr. Wright?
No, of course not. I'd better watch out or he might find some way to cut my salary.
I drew this picture before I heard anything from the detectives. So I don't think anyone's story would have influenced me.
Mr. Wright, is there something that's bothering you about this picture?
Oh, well... That's strange. She claims this is exactly the scene that was imprinted in her mind. And yet, there's clearly a contradiction here.
So what's the contradiction?
Whoa, that's a great picture. Alright, let's see here. So, the contradiction.
Yeah, you can check the drawing by pressing check on that.
So this is, hold on. So, this is two different pictures?
No.
This is this, she drew this whole thing.
Yes.
So in her mind, she saw this blue badger above them in some way, and then the murder taking place.
Yes.
How does that happen? Right? Like, the blue badger's like sideways?
Also keep in mind this happened 2 years ago. The Blue Badger wasn't even created until a few months ago.
That's right.
But we don't still not, we're saying that we don't like exactly claim that that's a Blue Badger. But let's not worry about that for now. Let's worry about the
Okay.
actual scene.
So the actual scene... Okay. Alright.
Be like very specific.
Yeah, okay. Stabbed in the back. Died from punctured heart and lung. Okay, let's
Yeah,
check this again.
Yeah, the knife tip was found in the wound.
So it doesn't look like the knife is a tip. It's obviously flat.
Yep.
It definitely could have hit the back. I mean, it's kind of kneeled forward.
Yeah.
But there's clearly no tip on there.
So you think that's the thing?
I would say so.
Then look at the statements. If you think that's the thing, look at the statements.
Oh, right.
Yeah. This picture shows exactly what I saw in that incident. Yeah. So, which statement are you...
Okay, so
What
that's
did
it. Alright, so it's gotta be. So this shows exactly what I saw in that instant.
Yeah, okay.
The contradiction being. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this picture the witness drew contains a blatant contradiction!
What? But I still remember it like it was just yesterday.
Mr. Wright, perhaps it would be faster if you simply pointed out this contradiction for us. One part of this picture contradicts the other zero.
Oh, it's this motherfucker.
It's a burrito.
The contradiction, of course, lies here. Take a look at the knife the man is holding. If you look closely, you can see its tip is broken.
Even I don't have to look closely to see that, Mr. Wright.
Oh, Mr. Wright, look at the evidence. See the murder weapon? Its tip is broken too.
If I recall, the tip of the knife was not broken off in the victim's belly.
It was the conclusive piece of evidence that proved Joe Duck was the murderer.
I'm afraid it's not so simple, Emma. Scientifically speaking.
And where, pray tell, could you possibly see a problem?
The emphasis on the P's is so good in that line.
It's obvious, really. The victim suffered a single stab wound to the back.
There's a reason why I have so many pop filters on.
If the victim was only stabbed once, then the murder weapon should not yet be broken!
What's the meaning of this?
Perhaps the knife was broken beforehand.
Sorry, but I'm afraid that's not possible. The tip of the knife was found inside the victim's body. If it was broken beforehand, it couldn't possibly wind up there.
That's right. What does this mean?
The tip of the knife was undeniably discovered within the victim's body. The only possible explanation is the witness's memory is mistaken. You fuck.
That's why I asked her so many times if she was so sure she remembered correctly. I believe you were annoyed at the time. But she remembered correctly.
But there's no other way to explain this inconsistency.
Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. There is another explanation. Have you forgotten already? About a little something called falsified evidence?
You're treading on thin ice, right?
All I'm saying is that this broken knife tip might be the piece of evidence that was forged! Forged in the heart of a dying star! You can't deny the possibility!
No. No!
Are you saying the investigation really was corrupted?
Your Honor, please allow me to once again go over the events that took place the day of the murder. The police department and the prosecutor's office were holding a ceremony that day. After receiving the King of Prosecutors Award at the ceremony, Neil Marshall questioned Joe Dark along with Damon Gant. During his questioning, Joe Dark fled the room. Prosecutor Marshall chased after him and was killed by Dark. It is my belief that somewhere in this story, there is a lie.
I'm not lying. The man really was holding up a broken knife. If that's true, then there's no other way around it. This could not have been the actual murder weapon. There must have been another broken knife.
What are the chances of there being two broken knives?
Another broken knife besides Joe Dark's. Could there have been one? Hell yeah. I said it the moment I saw that motherfucker. If the witness is this adamant about the accuracy of what she saw, it can't just be explained away by a simple observational error.
That's right.
In that instant, Emma really did see a broken knife.
I assume then that you have some information about this other broken knife. If so, please feel free to enlighten us.
The murder weapon was already broken prior to the murder. There's only one way. Take a look at this. Here's the real murder weapon.
Not that one.
Yeah, the other one.
Wait.
I was like, your confidence is gonna be drained immediately because of that.
The answer lies in the past. 2 years in the past, I say. 2 years! Right here inside this picture.
It's just a picture of the award ceremony.
Ah!
What is it, Mr. Edward?
It's the broken murder weapon!
Notice the award Prosecutor Marshall is holding.
That's a broken knife!
As we earlier concluded, the knife in the drawing was not Joe Dark's knife. That being the case, the knife the witness saw was in all likelihood from this award! Neil Marshall was awarded King of Prosecutors that day. As an award, he was given this broken shield and knife. When he chased after Joe Dark, he pulled out this knife. Being a prosecutor, he did not carry a pistol. This broken knife was the only weapon he had in this dangerous situation.
But that can't be!
Oh? And why not, Mr. Edgeworth?
Because if the King of Prosecutors Award knife was the murder weapon, then the murderer and the victim were reversed!
What do you mean?
I mean, this man raising the knife would have been Prosecutor Neil Marshall!
Oh. Oh!
But the prosecutor was the only one who actually died.
That's true. What's going on here?
It seems Mr. Wright has been a bit too eager to jump to conclusions.
Oh, let it pass. Let it pass.
I got it. I just want to just, have an stroke for a bit. Wait! I remember now. I remember everything.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Witness?
Mr. Edgeworth. What is it? Could you show me your evidence list again, please?
His list? The one with that picture scribbled on the back?
I knew it. This picture. I'm the one who drew it. What?
I thought we already knew she drew it. Wait, what?
I suppose we didn't.
What? She was... No, but the whole thing was about the fact that...
Oh yeah, they was stating that perhaps it was the chief of detectives who just drew it and then it got mixed up in the evidence. That's what they were saying.
Oh.
Yeah.
You drew that?
Yeah, what? Yeah. What?
That's right. Well, because the logic was that
It was in his safe.
no, it wasn't. It was in his desk, but also
okay.
that the blue badger didn't exist 2 years ago.
Mm.
Good. This wasn't 1.5 at the time I drew this picture. All this time I've been trying so hard to forget. I must have locked this part away deep inside me.
Perhaps it would be best if we added this to the witness's testimony. Would you please tell us what you recalled, Miss Sky?
Yes, Your Honor.
First the knife mix-up, and now the blue badger. This should be interesting.
And we'll get to this testimony.
On the next
Next
episode of Modern Fossil Phoenix Wright. Yeah.
Yep.
We're on the cusp of finishing this game.
Yep.
On the
We are
cusp.
grabbing this case by the,
The
scrotum.
Scrody Odie. Yeah, boy.
But until then,
Make sure to oh my god, make sure to subscribe, hit that bell, smash that dislike button, leave a hate comment, and as always, stay wet and sexy.
I love you.
I love you. Oh, whoa! I wasn't even gonna get you.
Yeah.
that was a quick draw.
yeah.
That's a quick draw.
It was a quick
you
draw.
need to do a slow motion replay of that one. That
I
was
did-
pretty badass.
Yeah. I got that reaction time, man.